Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a 100-mile review of the ASICS GT-2000 14. Now this is ASICS standard moderate stability daily training shoe. It's seen some big changes in this version. This shoe was a big favorite of Docs Running, myself, David, over the last several generations. This one is where things are going to change, and I will say this is one of my least favorite GT2000s of the last several years. Heel has just not worked with me at all. I have really forced myself to get 100 miles in this shoe and probably this shoe has contributed to an injury, although me overtraining and doing dumb stuff is probably the bigger factor. But there's some things that we'll talk about. And again, the goal of this really isn't to like poo-poo on a shoe. It's not to sell you a shoe. It's really to update you on what has durability been like, how has the shoe changed, what's it really been like over some solid miles, so that if you're interested in this, you can help you make some decisions about whether you should consider the shoe or you should move on and find something else. So as always, we're going to start off with specs in my men's size 10. This shoe, my size 10, is coming in at 278 grams or about 9.8 ounces, which is not the lightest shoe on the market for this in the stability category, or there's not many in the light stability category left, but it's also not the heaviest, so it's definitely a little bit on the lighter side, gives it a little versatility with some speed stuff that we'll talk about in a second. Stack height wise, this thing is coming in at 36 in the heel, 20 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop, which feels exactly what it sounds like. And going back to that speed thing, the midfoot and forefoot of this shoe is actually great. If you land farther forward, this is going to be an awesome shoe for you. The stability is definitely wedged, at least it feels like the geometry is pretty intense, and there is a little bit of medial forefoot stability if that's something you need. But the forefoot is inspired by the recent Novablast design, where it feels kind of trampoline-y and bouncy, and it's really nice and has a little bit of snap to it, which gives it great versatility for daily training. Obviously got enough cushion for long runs. It's not a super stack height shoe. It's not a super shoe, but it can do long runs just fine. But it can also have some up-tempo abilities where you can pick up the pace. You can definitely do some tempos in it. You can do some fartlek type intervals. If you're trying to get really fast or really do true racing efforts, this is not a racing shoe. It's not going to be that track high-speed 5K shoe, but it can handle a little bit of pace versatility, which a lot of shoes in this category cannot. So that's really nice about the forefoot. Little snappy, got a little bit of bounce to it. It's really nice. The heel stinks. This is my least favorite heel, and I'm so frustrated because ASICS has been making great strides forward, no pun intended, on heel design, and this one is terrible. They have a posterior flare. The heel's not velvet as well as it was in the previous version. It just feels so clunky. So landing the rear foot is just really harsh, and it has not gotten better. In fact, I think it's gotten a little bit worse, and the upper that you see here, I will post this video at some point on social media, but even the upper was designed in a way that really pinched on my Achilles and made this whole area just really rough. I have strongly disliked, especially the last 60 miles on this shoe, and I did this because I knew, hey, it's a popular shoe. I really want to put something out there to educate people on this shoe, and it's made my heel worse. So clunky heel that doesn't get better, even as the foam starts to soften a little bit, because Flyfoam Blast Max tends to soften, and it certainly has. It's lost a little bit of that snappy feel from earlier, and now it's getting softer and a little bit more relaxed. The heel still stinks, and it still doesn't smooth the transition out at all. It's just kind of stayed the way it is, really, really, really clunky. So that's not the same as the midfoot forefoot. That's done really well. Yes, is it as responsive as it was in the first couple miles? No, it's a little bit softer, a little bit more relaxed, but the heel's not going to change. So if you don't like this, it's not going to get any better, I promise. Maybe I'm wrong. Everybody can have their different experiences. If you had that, please post below, because this has stunk the whole time. The stability has also changed quite a bit. If you've watched some of the other videos I did of this with the comparison of version 13 with the Kayano, it felt like the stability on the medial side was so aggressive, even though this is supposed to have some more central elements, like there's a sidewall on the lateral side, sidewall on the medial side, supposed to keep you centered. It just felt really aggressive on the medial side, almost like my foot was being held up at a wedge, but that's gone. It definitely now has transitioned to a mild stability swoosh, and I think that's partially because the foam they use, it does soften a little bit. So if you find that, oh, this is a lot, if you are willing to wait, it'll break into a little bit more of a mild stability thing. There's still that wedge type feeling. There's still plenty of like medial control there, but it's definitely not as aggressive as what it started. So if you need the aggressiveness that you like at the beginning, no, it's not going to stick around, and by like 70, 80 miles, it's going to decrease by quite a bit and be more mild than the like moderate to high stability where it started. So this shoe changes a lot over its lifetime in terms of the stability, in terms of the midsole softness, but that heel does not change at all. Upper is also somewhere where midfoot, forefoot, the forefoot is actually a little bit wider than previous versions. There's a little bit more volume to it, which is really, really nice for having a little bit more room in the forefoot. The midfoot is really nice and secure. There's a thin tongue that has really strategic padding around the sides, so you can tighten this if you want without having to get any lace bite on it. But again, this heel stinks. So if you can see this heel, and there's a really stiff count on the rear foot, so people that need softness back there, it's not gonna work. But it's angled inwards, and that has been pushing into my Achilles tendon, and really, like I said, I've been dealing with Achilles tendinopathy. It's improving really quickly because, not quickly, it's taking forever because tendinopathies take forever, but I'm able to load it and I'm progressing really well. And this shoe really agitated it every single time, and actually doing long runs in this shoe, I had the flare up initially with this. I finally gave up and just cut this, which I used to do this in college, and the people have high heel tabs that are really pushing into your heel. If you want, and you're not wanting to worry about returning these, you can totally cut this, and this dramatically improves some of the pressure on my Achilles tendon, which I was really sure just this is not angled very well. So be careful with this. If you've got a really sensitive heel, sensitive Achilles tendon, this is absolutely not a shoe for you because it's going to be pushing into your Achilles, which is exactly what happened to me. If you are a diehard on wanting to try this shoe and run in this shoe, you might want to consider this. Just be careful because it's very easy to ruin shoes doing this. So I have a saw that I use to buzz through this, and you got to make sure things don't get caught on there, and no, it may impact the overall life of the shoe. I'm very lucky as a running shoe reviewer that I get shoes and often I'll take them to 100 and 200 miles. I won't usually take them further than that because I don't usually have time. But if you are someone that most people are going to be taking this for the full life, just be aware that the consequence of this, as I have found in the past, is it may start tearing more and it can affect the durability of the shoe. So just be careful. So overall, there are some great parts of the shoe and there's some parts that just stink. And so you really have to figure out, is some of these things going to be fine to you? If you're a forefoot midfoot striker, this heel is probably not going to bother you at all. If you're a rear foot striker, it's probably going to bother you if you're used to nice smooth heel bevels. If you're not, you may be totally fine, and maybe I'm just being really sensitive. It might just be me, but I'm just trying to help people go, hey, these are my experiences. Please let me know what you're experiencing too. Same thing with the upper. You're wanting a little bit more room without being super wide and pretty good security, just and not really bothered by heel counters. You like a stiff heel counter, great, or this stuff doesn't bother you, you might be fine, but those with sensitive heels, again, watch out for this. So really, overall disappointed in this shoe. ASICS, I hope you can turn this around in the next version and fix both the heel like geometry as well as the heel upper, because if that wasn't a problem, this would be an awesome shoe and would still be on the top of our list. Unfortunately, this shoe is not even going to be on our top 5 this year for stability shoes, and that's just how things go. So please let me know in the comments below if you've tried this shoe. Have you had similar or different experience? Oh, and I totally forgot to talk about the durability. I've seen the most wear on this shoe compared to anything else. I'm literally about to rip this off, which is pretty good for me for 100 miles, but durability has not been as good as previous versions on the outsole. I almost forgot to say that. So sorry I forgot that. Please let me know in the comments below if you've had a similar or different experience to me. If it's totally fine in the heel, let people know. If you've had the similar experience, please also let people know, because I don't want people to be going through this as well. The goal is never to sell you shoes. It's to help educate you on the things that are either going to work or may not work for you, and to help teach you about what the best things are for your individual needs. We're all different. We have different needs. So again, if you can comment and contribute to below, that might help somebody else who's trying to look for this, and maybe my mechanics don't match them. Maybe somebody else might match them better. So please help out, because again, we do this because we want to keep you healthy, help educate you, and keep you running and not have to worry so much about this stuff that can be sometimes overly complicated.